my name's Neil Scanlan. I'm in charge of the special makeup effects for Sweeney Todd, and welcome to a special DVD tour. It's our job here to really devise the ways that each one of Sweeney Todd's victims is going to die. They'll all die at the hands of his razor blade, I'm sure, but there are different ways that we're looking at it, trying to make it both creative as well as dramatic without it becoming overly, should I say, gory. Yeah. What we're trying to do is to push the boundaries to the slightly ludicrous. By doing that, you take the audience away from that feeling that this is real. And in all cases, when it comes to cinema, it is amazing how much more blood you need to use. That, I mean, we only have eight pints of blood in our body, I believe, anyway, and we're pumping over a gallon of blood on your average effect.
Where's the sharp end of the knife here? So if he comes in there and slices across, he's doing it properly.
When I first met with Tim about this type of effect, Tim didn't really give much indication to the level that he wanted. I think the most important thing to Tim was to allow him, as it certainly is, this is a musical, and the pace of the movie and his directorial sort of approach would be that he would really wanted to be able to play the scene out in some portion before the person met their death, and to do that without a cut.
Let me see where the blood is on here.
How do you want to just work out?
Well, just so that once you go in, it comes out. So what's happening now is, I think, because it looks good, you know, jamming in, but then I think what's happening is it's not able to escape, or I don't know what it is.
Eunice, you did it a couple of times where it got you straight in the face.
I think that was the first challenge. Beyond that, I'm not sure that Tim had a clear idea of the amount of blood, and neither did we. And I think that we just experimented and did a whole series of different effects which we put together to show Tim.
Twist it so that some, you know, it's like stab, twist, and then stab again. Yeah, see, that's it. I mean, Johnny. Oh, sorry.
Johnny's cutting skills are unnervingly good for someone that we've had very little practice with. It only takes a couple of goes. Yeah, it's quite unnerving to watch watch him play it out.
Yeah. And then,
So you can do anything with it.
really good from this kind of thing. So let me see you in your position there. Yeah, it really gets all over you.
We're trying to respond, I think, to it's not about the blood, it's about the emotion of the moment. So you're there on the set, and you know, the moment the blood begins to flow, you're listening to Tim's prompts and directions to the actors and watching those guys and trying to play along or be part of that rather than step outside of it. So we just set up a test here just to show you how it all works and what we've been up to. These are the guys and girls that are responsible for pumping the blood, in other words, delivering the blood, and what you can see are the individual pumps. The silver ones are pressurised, the ones there are more manually operated. They deliver the blood to the individual pipes that you can see running down here, up to just a little stand that we have here for the minute. But each pipe is taken from its stand where it is connected to the appliance that Phil's wearing here at the moment. So if I just take it to pull the shirt back here, you can see where the appliance is. The appliance is fitted around here. It's actually glued to his neck. You can see an area there that we've highlighted there, which is where the slit will be. This is where we're going to cut him. And these are the individual pipes that go down. Each one of these gets connected to these pipes, and at the right time, the pressure is released, the blood flows up from here, up through the individual arteries, as it were, from here, breaks that piece open, and the blood comes flooding out from the neck. Okay, so that's all the tubes connected up. These will normally run around and down the back of the chair or anywhere off camera, but they're effectively what delivers the blood for us. Costumes made good. This is just a mock-up blade. It has a slit along the edge there, which allows us to deliver blood if we want to. So once it's all dressed, it would look like the actual real blade. We don't use that for this particular effect. All right, Phil. You ready, Phil? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Down. Well done. Fantastic. Excellent. Did it work? Did it all go?
Yes. Oh, it's cold.
Let's have a look.
Thank you. Who's that?
For each actor that dies in the film, we're also going to create a realistic dummy of that person. They will eventually get ejected down the chair, down to the bakery where they become part of the pies. So what we're doing is creating realistic heads of these people. We'll create their bodies also. The plaster cast at the back there is interesting. That's a life cast that we've taken of the actor. And you can see that is with his eyes closed and him in a very neutral position. But what we've also done this time around is to take some scan versions of the actor using a digital technique, and then having these sort of rapid prototype versions made. It's like a hard plastic. And although that is not as detailed as what you would get from a live cast, it allows the actor to pull the expression that he wants to pull for his own death. We're able to take teeth detail and things like this, and then that will then eventually get inserted, and they'll be made in a sort of very lifelike material. They'll have wigs, they'll have, all their hair will be punched. Hopefully you won't know from a different actor or actress on the day. These are the armatures for the dummies. So these are sort of being stacked up here as we go along, and they eventually make their way over to Vanessa's area here, where we start to clad them. We've come up with a kit. Again, we don't want to put the actor or actress through a whole live cast and then moulding process. It seems unnecessary. So we've come up with an action figure kit, which is made of these sort of soft foamed entities. This is a shin, and they're cast from a generic body size that we've sculpted and are made in such a way that they can all interlock together as pieces. So this piece would interlock into this piece here. And if it needs to get lengthened, we can cut into it and lengthen the thigh section or the knee section. You can see here it all starts to work really nicely once the whole thing's together. It's got a really great feel. You can do all kinds of things. It will bend and move and take on anything that we want to do. So that's been what we call fabricated. All the joints are this has been attached to the joints. You can see the lengthening sections going in there. And you can see there's a natural weight and feel to it. All the shoulders work. It sort of has a whole kind of thing. On top of this, which we'll put on for you for a moment, is almost a sort of artificial skin. It's like a black lycra costume that goes over the top. And then once it's clothed and we have the hyper-realistic head and hands on there, it will serve, hopefully, its purpose very well.
Goodbye, Joanna. You're gone and yet you're